big one.
The big one. The big one!
I can't wait.
One last score.
It works for me, it can work for you, babe.
I got more to lose than you. Yeah, well, I got nothing.
So what now?
Let's hug it out.
I can't wait.
Grand Theft Auto 5, out now. Rated M for mature.
By the way, you guys, it's my first time bringing my Switch 2 to Los Angeles, so this is pretty cool. What a good way to start. So, you guys wondering what I think about the Switch 2? Honestly, you guys, it's kind of great. Granted, there's a lot of improvement over it from the first Switch, like better graphics, better, whatever, better visuals, better frame rates and stuff. I mean, I mentioned it in my Nintendo video a while back that, yeah, it is actually pretty good. Yeah, I think people went overboard not saying it's not as good as the first, which I was like, seriously, you guys? The previous dock had like a 720p resolution. Getting a 1080 and 120, that's kind of amazing though. Especially for a Nintendo console like this. This is quite great. So yeah, I absolutely recommend you guys get it. Wait for the holidays though. I mean, it's gonna be insane once the holidays arrive, and it's gonna be sold out quickly. So yeah. So without further ado, I finally made it to Los Angeles Comic-Con. So I'll be spending at least today and tomorrow though, so I can get more footage and also some panels I want to check out. The first day I just want to roam around and say hi to people. So that's all that's gonna be for this video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it 2 parts. I think I'm just making it into one big video. So yeah, I'm very excited for returning, and thanks again to LA Comic Con for the French pass. For the French pass? No, sorry, no. It's actually the press pass. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna find to pick it up right now. Oh, I found it. Cool, I see Pearl over there. I like Pearl a lot. Guys, this is like getting a Willy Wonka ticket. It's kind of amazing. Hey, look, guys, it's Glitch. Glitch Productions. Wonder what they have. Some merch? Oh, they sell some merch from their shows. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty dope, you guys. Universal Studios is back here in LA Comic Con. It looks like Frankenstein has returned. I don't know why is he doing here in this park. So as of recording, you guys, Universal just announced their next phase for FanFest night. And Scooby-Doo meets the Universal Monsters is first on the list so far. We don't know what else are going to pop up, but I am pretty hyped for this. This is really exciting. God. Frankenstein is roaming around the event. Should be back at Universal, scaring people. Yeah, it's Frankenstein looking at the mystery machine. Hey.
As soon as it gets more crowded, if you'd like us to stay.
Mr. Frankenstein Monster, I like your van. Yes, it's a really nice mystery machine. Hey, let's see if you can yeah, it's a really nice thing, yeah. You can find some Scooby snacks over there? Yeah, Scooby snacks, you know? You like Scooby snacks? Yeah, I like Scooby snacks. Yeah, me. It's delicious. You like Scooby snacks? Yeah. Yes, please.
Oh, how's it going?
Hey there, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
Today I'm dressed as Hudslayer Daisy.
Yes.
Nintendo Wars.
Yes, from the previous vlog. Because you did dress up pretty well with that. I was admired by it.
Oh, thank you. It took me 6 months to build, so.
Yeah, I forgot to ask that actually.
Long time. But there's a YouTube video with the whole progress with Jacqueline Donor.
Yes,
so
I'll put the link on the top so people
that'd
can
be
watch
great.
it.
Yeah, check it
Yeah.
out. Give a review. Write in the comments that you came from this video.
Yeah, and also your music. It's pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's Mario Kart right here in the Dave & Buster's booth. Yeah. It's pretty cool though. I actually like this Mario Kart they played at Dave & Buster's. Well, finally found it, you guys, the Artist Alley. I was actually looking for it earlier and didn't know they moved it downstairs. It's a bigger hall than I expected. They should use this more often. This is a bigger area. Well, I guess the roof is not as tall though, so kind of makes sense. But it's still big though. It's still big enough. That's pretty cool.
Hey everyone, we're at Los Angeles Comic Con, and come on down, talk X-Men with me. I appreciate it.
Yes,
And,
the original X-Men series.
Check out his channel. It's excellent.
Thank you, Larry. No, check out X-Men as well, especially 97 if you guys haven't though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Everything's going great.
Yeah, thanks, Larry.
Okay.
So we got Alpha right here. This is like one of the best cosplays I've seen this year. It's absolutely beautiful. Where's your broom? Nice.
Right here. Always keep it on hand.
Absolutely. This is wonderful. This is just, I just like, I don't know what else to say. It's just so well made. Yeah. Same here. All right, thank you so much. Yeah, Huntrix. God, they look so great, you guys. Oh my God. All right, so I'll be heading to the Pika station right here in LA Comic Con's version of Japan, I will say. I don't know how to say this, but I'm pretty excited to check this out though, because, well, still love Tokyo. I still miss Tokyo so much. So I need to check this out. Here we are, you guys. So exciting. I'm excited for this. This is so, I don't know. I just feel like I'm starting to get a feel to Japan. Coming back to Japan. It's the closest way is this, you know, the closest experience. All right, we got the gaming and we got the animation voice acting right here. Definitely go check it out very soon. And yeah, this is great though. I love the entrance in this. It's really amazing. And it's sponsored by Maruchan. Love it. I love their soy noodles. I eat that a lot. I love that thing. Yeah, I finally got to reunite with Phineas and Ferb themselves. And I finally met Olivia, who voices Vanessa, but she's also one of the writers for a few episodes for the recent Phineas and Ferb season. Yeah, she's wonderful. I mean, come on. Gotta have to meet her though, because, well, she wrote one of the best episodes. Like the therapist episode was my favorite. Other voice actors are here, which is nice. It's kind of nice seeing some recognizable people. Some I haven't met, some I met before, which is nice though. He even brought in some Japanese actors over here. Oh, and Young Yeah. Love that channel so much. Almost though. I'm not really too critical of Nintendo, but hey. Yeah, I just say hi to Young Yeah from YouTube. Like, I watched his channel for a while, talking about, you know, the gaming industry and everything. And he's the voice of Lance, which I do love. Yeah. Alright, you guys, that's about it for day one of LA Comic Con. So I'll be heading back home for now, rest up for a little bit, wake up very early tomorrow just to get to day two, which is going to be my last day for tomorrow though. Hopefully I'll get the Rockstar panel, and then hopefully I'll see Dani from, you know, the animation, Dani Bowman, you know. So yeah, I'll be heading home very soon. Thankfully, I took the public transport today just to save money, but also my bus takes me directly to my area and drive back home as well, so much more easier to save money from that. So tomorrow morning I have to wake up really early and just to see the Rockstar guy, so the Rockstar gang guy, Dan Hauser, you know. But yeah, overall, you guys, it's been fun. I actually really enjoyed day one of LA Comic Con. I think it's gotten a little bit better, I will say. Last year was a little more fun, but this one's fun too though. But But when I meant like the experiences, yeah, it's gotten a lot better though. So I'll give them this. So overall, you guys, I'll be heading off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Let's go, ET!
Alright, ET. It's AT going home. I think it's going home.
Much, much, much later.
Alright, I'll be heading back to LA very soon. First time taking the Pomona station to the Expo, or Pico stop, I will say. So, pretty excited to be heading back yet again. So, I'm in a hurry right now because it's about to leave, so.
Together pretty well until after they're gonna have to break out.
God, I love this part. Okay, so the first panel they brought in is actually Robert Rodriguez's panel, along with Jessica Alba, Frank Miller, all these recognizable people. It's just insane that they got Robert Rodriguez here, out of all people. Because I'm kind of inspired by that guy's movies though, like lower budgeted, high quality. So yeah, that's where you get my inspiration for my channel.
Make some noise if you are pumped, if you are excited, if you are ready for this first panel. Make some noise. Wait a minute, have you had your coffee? You can do better than that. Make some noise. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all look fantastic. Well, I wanted to bring up our first panel of the day. You lucky folks are going to be among the first to get a sneak peek at the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. Now this is going to open right here in Los Angeles next year. But first, are you ready for this? It is my honor to introduce our panel's moderator. You know who she is. She's an actress, a businesswoman, from amazing movies like Sin City, The Fantastic Four. Please give a very warm Comic-Con welcome to the incredible Jessica Alba!
Yes.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, gorgeous.
Hi, good morning. How is everyone? Wow. Thank you all so much for being here and coming out. I haven't been to Comic-Con in so long. I felt like this is my home for so many years. I'm so happy to be here today to talk about the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, co-founded by George Lucas and Melody Hobson, and opening right here in LA next year. Today we're going to explore one of our most human instincts, community, what brings us together and shapes us as a society, and what we're all here to do at Comic-Con, to enjoy visual storytelling. It's my great honor to welcome 3 extraordinary artists to the stage who have mastered this in ways that have shaped our culture. First, we have an artist who I am so lucky to work with and learn from. We are literally familia. He is a visionary filmmaker whose work, like the groundbreaking Sin City, brings the visual language of the people's art to the big screen. Welcome, Roberto Rodriguez. Next up, someone I am lucky enough to call a friend and collaborator. He is a creator whose work reshaped an entire industry with titles like Sin City and The Dark Knight Returns. He is a master of storytelling and one of the most influential comic book artists of all time. Welcome, Frank Miller.
I hear the train a coming, it's rolling around the bend, and flying I'm stuck in cold prison, that time keeps dragging.
Right. And finally, his work illustrates some of the most powerful and important stories of our time, depicting heroism, history, and the human spirit. He's created some of my favorite New Yorker covers, book illustrations, and beautiful album covers for artists like Michael Jackson and Drake. Welcome, Kadir Nelson.
Nice.
All right, it is genuinely a privilege to be on stage with all of you. I'm so happy Melody hit me up for this. I've always been fascinated by the power of stories. Stories are what hold us together and help us make sense of the world. Whether it's in a comic book, a movie, a photograph, or painting, visual storytelling allows us to connect with each other and share our experiences. I love that the Lucas Museum is dedicated to all forms of visual storytelling with an explicit belief that popular art, like illustration and comics, deserve a temple. Before we dive into our conversation, I have the privilege of sharing a special video that will give you a taste of what's to expect of the Museum of Narrative Art, a spectacular new cultural destination in LA surrounded by beautiful green space and gardens. Take a listen to co-founders George Lucas and Melody Hobson offer a sneak peek at the museum and its collection.
If you present a child with a comic book, even if they've never seen it, they'll figure it out really quick. It doesn't necessitate the adult intervention to be understood, and I think that's extremely liberating. You know, it says, this belongs to you.
George and Melody actually took me and my kids on a tour of the museum, and I heard all of our panelists here have gone too. Having seen it firsthand, y'all, we can attest to the fact that it's nothing short of amazing. So let's start with a question for each of you. Robert, what does narrative art mean to you? And Kadir, just so you can start thinking of your answer, how does narrative art shape society? And Frank, why do you think it's important to have a museum dedicated to this type of art? So we'll start with Robert. What does narrative art mean to you?
I started as a cartoonist. That's why Frank and I got along so well. And I just know, you know, by definition, illustrative art is meant, a single image is meant to tell a whole story. And I got that even from Frank's work, which was, these images tell complete stories, and a lot of times, illustrative art is not considered fine art, which is why the popular art that we all know and love and consume, you can't find it in a museum. And that's why George is always so ahead of the pack. He was the head of the pack from the beginning on everything, from digital editing to digital filmmaking, and now showing art that museums normally do not show. Those museums are going to be so surprised when they see how many people fill up to see this art. It is stunning, and it's finally a museum for us. This is the kind of art that we love. And when I met Frank, I know you're going to be blown away. I got to see it. I went and saw it with George. I went into one room where they just had Xeroxes of some of the art up just to kind of show where they might place it. And even that gave me goosebumps to know that it's going to be the real thing there. Art we all know, love, and have consumed, that we have a connection to. That's what makes art. The art is the message, and it connects us. And museums get really highbrow about it, and they won't show this art because they don't think it's fine art. They don't know what you all love. George has always had his finger on that pulse. And I'm so excited about this. I know it's going to be a huge success. And that's why, yes, absolutely. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's unbelievable. Because this is the art of the people. Art should be something that people can identify with. And if it connects to you, it is art. And so when I met Frank to do Sin City, I knew the power of that page. I would stare at just a single image of his, and there was a better movie than it was in the cinemas on that page. His paper actors, his pen instead of a camera. And I said, I don't want to adapt this into a movie. I want to turn movies into this, because this is stunning, this is moving, and I connect to this. I just want this to move. And it's funny that you're here and Frank's here. It's kind of turned into an impromptu Sin City panel. But you gotta know something. There would be no Sin City movie if it wasn't for George Lucas, because he turned me on to these digital cameras, which helped me eliminate the medium of film so that the drawings could just move. And I shot on green screen to really get back to the art, because I knew the power of narrative art. And that's why people were so stunned by what they saw in Sin City. It wasn't even like a movie. It was that graphic page that just was moving, but telling the story in such a powerful way. It was making more exciting cinema, visual storytelling on paper with pen than anyone was doing in cinema. That's why I knew it would really get people's attention. And when you go into this museum, you will see art piece after art piece after art piece that tells a whole story, and everyone gets a different story from it, because that's what it was designed to do. That is art. That is the highest kind of art, because it connects us and it speaks to us. So I've been following this museum since he first mentioned it, because I always follow wherever he goes, because he's always 10 years ahead of everyone. When he showed me digital cameras, I bought them that day and started filming with them. They knew it would take the industry 10 years to catch up. Everyone's always playing catch up. They never learn their lesson. George always knows. He's Obi-Wan. Just follow him. You'll reach the promised land much quicker. So I can't wait for you to see this museum. I can't wait. And they said, you can come see it. I said, is there art up? No, not yet. I'll go anyway. The building is a work of art. There's no straight lines anywhere. It's just so inviting. You feel like you're gonna see the art come and speak to you. I'm just so excited. I had to come be a part of this to tell you, because I have seen it and I know what a visionary he is. And this art is our art. This is art. It's going to be your favorite museum. This is going to be the only museum you're going to want to go see. And it's just going to be revolving every 6 months with different pieces. You're going to be it's going to be the thing to go do. And it's here in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
I think what George is doing is celebrating. I think what George is doing is celebrating one of the very basic primal functions of the human consciousness. That is, back when we were living in caves and fighting a hostile environment, the one of the first things that people did was take clay and mark the walls of their caves with tales of the great hunt and various tribal battles and so on. There's a human desire to tell stories with pictures that goes all the way back. And remember our written language all started out as drawings and got adapted down and turned into the symbols we now see as the written language. And what I think that George is celebrating here is something that is essentially human, that we don't share with any other species on Earth. And we are storytellers, and we make images and use them to tell stories. And again, the simplest coloring book for children to the comic book to the cartoon to the loftiest cinema are all, and including all the history of sculpture and oil painting, etc. All of that is the basic, primal, even savage urge to tell stories. We're all still telling the great hunt, and I think that George's museum is very much a celebration of that process and of that part of the human psyche. It's part of who we are, an essential part.
I agree.
I'd go to the comic book store and I would see a Frank Miller graphic novel for Sin City. I'd go home and go, oh, I already had 3 copies. You know, you just kept buying the same books over and over again. I'm a fan of.
I kept on doing those new covers.
No, it was the same cover. I was just always hoping it was a new one because I was like, I was just so arrested by it. But Frank did something, talking about art being shared, really amazing on the movie. Each character that we cast, each actor played a character from this book. So as a wrap gift, as each actor finished their work, we would wrap them and send them off. But Frank, being so generous, would give them the most stunning wrap gift. It would be one of the classic original pieces of their character. So Jessica would get a Nancy Callahan, Brittany would get a Shelley, Benicio del Toro would get an Iron Jack, Bruce Willis got an amazing Hardigan, and you would see their faces when they were given these gifts of original art for their character, and their jaws would just drop and they would become little kids again at Christmas. I hope you still have yours. I wished I'd cast myself in the movie because I cast Frank as the priest, and I thought each time an actor got another stunning piece, I went, oh my God, I wish I'd cast myself as one of the characters.
Rodriguez.
Well,
I kind of gave you an original.
I know, so here's the big surprise. At the very end, much to my surprise, I was not expecting it. If you look up the original the original graphic novel collection, the first trade paperback of the first set of Marv stories, it's Marv in the rain, it's the cover, and this hard rain on it. It was huge, massive. He did it at a huge scale. He brought that up for me. I almost started crying. Just see how the rain was done with the white on the black, with the ruler and the splatter. I still just stare at that thing. It is just a real work of art. So, since art is meant to be shared, I'm gonna put it in the museum because you have to see it. It's because they're programmed to rotate so that every 6 months you have to see this because I cannot just selfishly have it for myself. Art is meant to be shared. And Jess, if you have yours, you should put it up for some time too. Because it is incredible. It is incredible. And to see his process, what I was telling you about, when you can see the hand of him making it, it just connects you even more. It connects you even more, and you'll go home and you'll find that suddenly you can do things you weren't able to do before because you realize this really was done by a human and not just Zeus. It was done by somebody.
It's so funny because my relationship with Robert.
Creators, and for all of us to be inspired to build community. Thank you everyone for being here today. This has been pretty awesome, and thank you all for being here. What an inspiring conversation. All right, so without further ado, love you all, spread love. There's more that brings us together than separates us. Let's keep on with that message, and let's go LA Comic-Con. Narrative art lives forever. Thank you all.
Excellent.
Here comes the story of every king.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Y'all have a good.
It's Comic-Con, how we feeling? We're still energized, we're still pumped?
That's what I'm talking about. That's some fire. Everybody's still caffeinated or ready to go. Now tell me, does anyone out here play GTA?
Yeah!
Yes, yes. All right, guys. Perhaps a little Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, that too.
Well, we've got a really great treat for you guys right now. We're going to bring out the creative force behind these and many other projects. Dan Hauser. Yes.
I can't believe they got him.
Yeah.
I just can't believe
Let's
it, guys.
begin by bringing out our moderator first, IGN Senior Executive Editor Ryan McCaffrey, to get things started. Give him a big warm Comic-Con welcome.
I remember Ryan.
All right, let's bring out Dan.
Yeah. Damn! Oh my god.
All right, so we're gonna do the speed run here, Dan. I could talk to you for 3 hours about everything you've accomplished in your career and everything you're building now at Absurd Ventures, because that's why you're here. You're not here for your health. We've got new projects. We've got a new company based right here in LA, but the internet would tar and feather me if I didn't start with the elephant in the room, a little thing called Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, you haven't been at Rockstar for some time. You've been building Absurd Ventures, but is it going to feel weird to you for GTA 6 to come out on May 26th of 26, and for you to not have like every square inch of it seared into your brain the first time you sit down to actually play it?
In a way, I mean, I think it's a great privilege to have worked on something that big, and to, I wrote the last 10 or 11 of them, so I think the world's probably had enough GTA from me. I think it's, they're always a new story, so it's not going to be a story that I wrote or a character set that I developed. I think it's going to be exciting. The game will be great, I'm sure.
So I got to go back. I've been playing GTA. I'm a massive GTA fan. With respect to 1 and 2, 3 going 3D obviously just changed not only the trajectory of your company, Rockstar Games at the time, but really arguably the entire game industry shifted from that. Was there a point in development where all of you went, oh shit, we really have something here with this 3D thing?
Well, it's funny being back in this hall, because we used to do E3 here, and I think we thought we had something very exciting around the end of, March-ish 2001, and we came to E3 in May of 2001, and the rest of the world did not seem to agree with us, and they seemed completely underwhelmed by something we thought had the potential to be amazing. And then it was supposed to come out in September and got delayed because of 9/11, and it came out, I think, mid-October 2001, and I think some of the press still didn't quite get it, but the audience did.
Yeah.
And it just kept rolling.
So was that moment then kind of, when does like that moment of success hit you guys where it's like starting to just turn into this momentum generating juggernaut that just doesn't stop?
Well, it was a transitional moment, obviously, for everyone working on the project, and for Take-Two as a company. Take-Two, I think, had been delisted from the stock market in September or August of 2001. It was going broke.
Yeah.
They didn't have even enough money to make enough copies of the game. We couldn't make it quick enough, and the game just kept selling. So it began well and just kept rolling through the end of that autumn into Christmas, and kept selling into New Year, and we kept thinking it would stop, and it just never stopped.
That's amazing. And then, of course, it obviously is still very much going today. And I'm kind of curious about the creative process that, in the GTA days. Like, how do you go about writing for a GTA game? Like, they're known for many things, but chief among them is where they're set. Liberty City, Vice City, all of San Andreas is like. Do you start with characters or location, or do you build those around the setting?
I think it changed over time. I think when I started work on GTA 3, the team already had laid out a story and I made a few adjustments, but really we were figuring out quite fundamental building blocks of how we do storytelling in an open world game. You know, we'd heard other people were doing motion capture cutscenes, so we thought that sounds fun. We had no money, so we bought it by the second, found a studio in Long Island that could do it by the second. They could only do 3 people at once. We didn't think we had enough bandwidth to figure out how to make the main character speak. So it was very, you know, put together with bits of string. I think Alex Horton, who was the main animator on that, did an amazing job assembling that stuff, really making up as we went along. I think from a writing perspective, I hopefully got better as I went along, as I began to understand the process more. By GTA 4, we really tried to make it, you know, the games are going to what we called high definition, and we tried to make it a more character-rich experience. But it was always this combination of, it was almost like an equation, the tone of the world multiplied by the personality of the lead character. That was the game.
You were telling me backstage this great little story that is my favorite, one of my favorite parts of every GTA game are the radio stations, and specifically the talk radio stations, which Laszlo, who's with your new company now at Absurd Ventures, he, you know, hearing his voice in real life was a little surreal, considering he's usually coming out of a speaker through a car in my Grand Theft Auto game. But you were telling me a story about how the idea of talk radio in a Grand Theft Auto game came together not only here, but pretty late back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a 2-year development cycle, GTA 3, and the first year was done by the team in Scotland under Leslie, getting the whole thing kind of stood up technically, and then we began to be able to drive around the world for more than a minute and thought, how with absolutely no money do we fill this with content? And talk radio, me and Laz were like, well, we can do that cheaply. And then someone came up with the idea of, let's have characters from the game call into the talk radio. And at that moment, it began to be like, this is kind of magical how it's all tying together.
Oh, I love that so much. As I think most people have figured out, if they didn't know already, you are British.
Yes, sometimes.
And so I bring that up because you and the Rockstar team have always been very justifiably renowned for your biting satire of American culture, particularly with each successive Grand Theft Auto game. Do you think it's kind of your outsider perspective, not growing up in America, that made it kind of easier to shed some light on the absurdities within our American culture?
Excuse me. Well, yes and no. I mean, Laszlo definitely grew up in America, and he was also doing a lot of that with me. I think for me personally, it was an advantage to be an outsider and an insider. I was living here by the time I was doing that. And it was a huge advantage to be on the ground in America. If you think you understand America when you live in Britain, but you really don't. And when you come here, you start to grapple with it firsthand. It's a very different experience. But you know, growing up in the 80s and 90s, you are drowning in American culture in Britain. So you have a very strange reaction to it because you kind of know it and don't know it. So
Yeah.
I think the combination was very, very important.
Oh, that's cool. So I've said many times on IGN podcasts that you guys, specifically Rockstar North and the GTA Red Dead teams, are possibly the only video game development team on Earth that has world-class talent and pretty much unlimited resources and unlimited time, as we're seeing now with the wait for GTA 6, to do really anything and everything that you want, whereas 99% of other games we play, there are compromises made, cuts that are made. Would you agree with that assessment? And if you do agree with it, can you kind of think of an example or two off the top of your head of what the combination of all of that allowed you to do in GTA or Red Dead that maybe in a traditional non-Rockstar setting would have had to hit the cutting room floor?
Well, I felt we always had some time pressure and some money pressure, and certainly a lot of self-imposed real pressure to make something great. So we certainly, I've always felt I was working under lots of pressure, even though the pressure's changed. But we could be imaginative we were trying to always make something amazing, and the focus was if we made something amazing, it will sell enough to justify making another one. That was always the way, we tried to approach it. I think from GTA 4 onwards, when we started to do stuff like put television into the games, that was a somewhat of an indulgence, but I think it helped round out the experience. When we put silent movies into Red Dead, you didn't need them, but they helped set the tone of this cowboy world.
Because there had to come a point where your corporate overlords at Take-Two just stopped pressuring you at all for anything, right? Where they just like, oh, you guys need more money? Sure, have some more time, have some more resources.
Yeah, I didn't really liaise with them very much.
Yeah.
That wasn't my day-to-day experience.
They were smart enough to just leave you guys alone, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure other people liaising with them, but that wasn't me. On the creative side, there was no direct involvement, or oversight.
Does one GTA or Red Dead, or just really any of the Rockstar games, because you touched them all over the years, do any stand out as a personal favorite for you over the years?
Of course. Red Dead 2, I think, was
absolutely
still being played to this day.
The best thing that I worked on, the best single kind of realization of sort of open world storytelling, thematic consistency, and understanding how the games are assembled to take you on an emotional journey. I also think GTA 4, because we did try and evolve how we did the storytelling and did it in a fundamental way. I think the middle section of GTA 5 is amazing. When we got the three characters working, I think it was not flawless, but it was so smooth, that middle section. I thought that was really amazing. And then the end of Red Dead 1.
Yeah,
those are sort of my favorite bits.
Don't spoil it for anybody if you haven't finished.
In some ways, Red Dead 1, GTA 3, and Bully, because they were all essentially new or nearly new IP, doing that for the first time and assembling something strong, that's really a gratifying experience that I'm trying to take into what we're doing now.
Well, you brought up Bully. I would again. It would be criminal. It would be journalistic malpractice of me to not ask. Why did we never get a sequel to Bully?
I think there were just bandwidth issues. If you've got a small lead creative team and a small senior leadership crew, you just can't do all the projects you want. And we're certainly how we're structuring it absurd. We're trying to do 2 projects with a fairly small team, and just really trying to think through that. How can we do that and keep them both moving?
So before we get to start talking more about absurd, if you'll indulge me a couple more Rockstar GTA questions. So I'm of the opinion, which I imagine is probably shared by plenty of folks here, that GTA 5, I think, is probably at least one of the 10 best games ever made, period. It is just an absolute masterclass in so many. Its scope is really only somehow matched by its depth, which is unheard of in open world games. It's got story, it's got humor, it's got all sorts of hidden stuff. There's a tennis game, like a functioning tennis game in GTA 5. There's a functioning golf game in GTA 5. So
it's a functioning therapist.
Yes, and it's gone on to sell over 200 million copies. So does that number do anything in your brain as those sales numbers come in, or do you just get kind of numb to it? Like, I'm just sort of curious how that sort of stratospheric effect on not just gaming but pop culture affects you.
Well, I live a pretty normal life. What are you going to do? I love making stuff. I think that was why we went all in as a company. I went all in as an individual on trying to make Red Dead 2 a counterpoint to that. Because if you've made one of the biggest things ever, I wanted to make something really special for the next game, and that was really, that was tonally very different, but took some of the ideas and took them in a different direction. So I think, you're always trying to compete with what you've done in the past, up to a point, but really it can't be from a sales perspective. It has to be from a creative perspective, or you'll send yourself insane.
So, all right, Absurd Ventures, that's what we're here to talk about. That's what you're building right now over in Santa Monica.
And San Rafael.
Yes, second studio of My Way. So, I had the pleasure of reading the first 2 issues of American Caper, which is your new graphic novel. It's on sale November 12th, by the way. Everybody make sure to check that out, especially if you're a GTA fan. You'll see kind of a few common themes there, and that's kind of what I wanted to ask you about. It seems very normal in the opening pages, and then it gets pretty dark pretty quickly. So I would argue that it's darker than anything you ever did at Rockstar. I don't know if you'd agree with that assessment, but what inspired the idea for American Caper?
I don't know if it's darker than Trevor. It's from GTA 5,
Yeah.
but it's heading in that direction. I love doing, obviously, crime comedy, and didn't want to do, having done lots of stories about carjackers, or people who had to be tough and be carjackers, and living in this moment right now, wanted to tell a story about some degenerate criminals from a completely different perspective, and a completely different part of the world that you could never, a combination of factors. But
I kind of saw what I thought were some similar themes to at least the Grand Theft Auto work, specifically like the American dream. I think is sort of touched on. The male ego is touched on,
yeah.
And violence as a means to an end, or at least an apparent solution to the character's problems. So, would you kind of agree with that? And what keeps you coming back to those themes throughout a lot of your work?
Well, I think men getting confused between reality and the fantasy in their heads is something a lot of stories are about, and it's something I find very interesting. America, particularly the rural West in this moment right now, is something I found interesting and thought was an interesting place to set a sort of dark comedy. I think we're trying to do, still grappling with kind of contemporary American themes, but doing it from a different perspective, where the heroes are not kind of outsider criminals from the wrong side of the tracks, but people that should be insiders and have been led astray. Yeah. And I thought that was a really interesting take on the kind of criminal, the space where between sort of criminality and political beliefs has got so blurred. I thought that was interesting and worth looking at.
For folks that haven't had a chance to pick up American Caper yet, can you kind of give the quick, elevator pitch version of what it's all about?
Small town, suburban, quote unquote, successful people. One is a happily married-ish in his mind lawyer. The other is a happily married in his mind property developer. Both have made some terrible mistakes, and their lives go very awry.
So to wrap up, you are not. We're talking American Caper, this graphic novel. You've got a podcast series as well, an accompanying book with that. But you're not out of gaming. You're not out of gaming. Absurd Ventures is teaming up with Smilegate on your company's first game. Can you give us any hints about Absurd Ventures' first video game?
Well, we've got 2 games in development. One is in our comedy world, which we're calling the Absurdiverse, and it's going to be an open world third-person comedy. And the other is set in our other universe, which is called A Better Paradise, and it's going to be a third-person dystopian tragedy or dystopian mess. And it's both are in early development, both really exciting to be working on something new.
Well, it's great to have you back in video games, and in the meantime, you can go read American Caper, the graphic novel series, out November 12th. So that's keep an eye out for that in just a couple months from now. Dan Houser, co-founder of Rockstar, co-creator of Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and the list goes on, and now founder of Absurd Ventures. Follow him, check him out. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay guys, so earlier today, as I mentioned, I checked out a couple of panels. Robert Rodriguez. I also checked out the Chuck Lorre new series on CBS, forgot the name. But the casting's really nice. And I finally finished the Rockstar panel, which Dan Houser was there. I finally got to meet the guy, and I was so freaking nervous, but at the same time, it's just an honor to meet the guy. The guy who wrote all the GTA games that you know, like from 3 to 5, and the Red Dead games as well, because those games are a masterclass of video game history right there. But also, I would consider cinema as well. I mean, video games are becoming like the biggest forms of cinema I've ever seen. I just can't believe that happened, though. Oh my God, I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I just like, yeah, it's just amazing. Meeting one of the greatest creatives out there, making one of the best video games ever made. Yeah, I'm just being a real gamer right now. Holy hell, this is the line for the Universal panel, which features Joel Murray which features the guy who created Universal Horror Nights. It's kind of insane. These amount of people will show up for this. Is pretty cool though. Not sure I'm gonna get in though, but you know what? I met Dan Houser, so that's something.
I'm a journalist with the Los Angeles Times. I write about theme parks, immersive entertainment, video games. Sitting directly to my right is John Murdy. John is executive producer of Halloween Horror Nights. John, you've been at Universal quite a while now, right? Yes. I started at Universal in 1989 as a tour guide.
Yeah, there you go.
Universal Studio Tour. Very well. And then directly next to John is Steven Sears. Executive producer of Universal Fan Fest. Steven, how long have you been over at Universal?
Not quite as long as John, but I'm actually celebrating my 21st year at Universal.
Congrats.
And directly next to Steven is Abby Finnan. Abby, show producer, Universal Creative. Abby, and how long have you been at Universal?
About 2 years later this year.
And down at the end of the table is John Profino, Vice President of Universal Creative. And John, you've been there?
I have 2 chapters in my life. I started in 1978. They gave me a broom, which just shows you anything is possible in your career. I left in 91 and I've been back now for 12 years.
We are going to be bringing together the worlds of Scooby-Doo and the Universal Monsters on a brand new backlot experience at FanFest Nights 2026. I cannot tell you how excited I am. We are, the entire team is, to bring these 2 worlds together. It is an iconic mashup of these 2 brands. When you talk about that intersection of nostalgia and fun and doing it through a uniquely Universal lens, you cannot get better than these 2 properties. So we're looking so much forward to sharing more with you in the coming months as to what we're doing behind the scenes, but do know that it's going to really engage upon that interaction, the engagement, the exploration that we built upon for the first year of FanFest, and really delivering that with this experience and the others that we're working on right now.
Yeah, and I know you're going to reveal stuff as it comes over the next few weeks and months, but you've been doing a lot of research into the Scooby-Doo world. Would love to just hear what you love about that universe.
You know what's been really fun about Scooby-Doo is being able to go back and rewatch all of those old episodes, and certainly one thing that it's known for are these types of interactions with other brands. So it's just such a perfect fit now, bringing the Universal Monsters into it, and in terms of this activation, and being able to relive some of those episodes. My son Noah's here, and being able to watch some of them with him as well, and it's one of those multi-generational brands that just resonates with so many people. So being able to bring it to life is really exciting for us.
Yeah.
The suits that went with the helmets, because we were always in the flight suits.
Okay.
But the thing with the flight suits was
It's
Mighty Morphin time!
Alright guys, my next panel will be K-Pop Demon Hunters. I think it's like a fandom panel. But you know what, I just want to see how this goes though, because it's going to be a pretty interesting panel, I will say. Oh, by the way, I will be doing I'll be attending the Q&A panel with the directors next month, so don't forget about that. Looks like they're all setting it up. The cosplays look amazing. But where is my Zoe? Where is my loved one?
We're gonna get started in
in a few minutes as people come in. If there's any like empty seats next to you, if you could like scoot one over, because I think we're gonna have a very full house today.
All right, guys.
Does anyone have a water laptop that I do that we could run the presentation off of?
Well, I don't know. Holy crap, you guys! This is crowded now. This is insane, and it's just only for the fandom. This is great. This really shows how massive this franchise is. It's just insane.
Sorry.
Hi, Rumi.
Wait, she's sealing the home room with that. I love it. I'm obsessed. I needed
All right, here I'm going to kick it off with the first question, which is, so this movie has like taken the U.S. initial like exposure. How'd you hear about K-Pop Demon Hunters? And you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I like this. And what was your first exposure? Whether it's like you worked on it as a cosplayer or you worked on it on the film. So let's go this way. Yeah.
Okay. I first heard about the project through an Instagram post. They were doing an open casting, and eventually got to work on the project. And a few years later, and yeah, it's been in the talks for a while. Like, people have been talking about it, I've been seeing concept art, and it's always been something that I was very curious about up until the day I walked into Sony Animation Studios and got to be a part of it and got to see a little bit of the scenes. And I knew from day one that it was going to be something special, but I had no idea that it was going to blow up to this extent. So it's a huge honor to be a part of the project, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Woo. All right. Esther?
Yes. So I'm a bit of a mature actor, y'all, and so I've been in the industry. And I just got contacted by the group that I work with, Raw Group. They do a lot of ADR looping, ADR meaning automatic dialogue replacement. So this is part of the post-production. The main leaders, the main actors will come in and voice the characters, and then the animation then gets combined. And then in post-production is when we come in for all the additional voices, right? And so I got contacted, and when we came in, they were still working on the movie. So this is the end of 2024 already, last year. And I was part of the first core soundscaping group. So at the time, and these are the details that at the time I didn't fully understand. Now I do, the world does. But soundscaping meaning we were still trying to figure out what the demons and the spirits would even sound like. Right? Because these are all imaginary characters. So, and they don't have that much dialogue, at least in terms of the soundscaping. So we're all trying very different voices. And one of the key directions that we got was to make the demons and the spirits not scary. And this was a very particular and interesting direction. And Maggie Kong actually came to, most directors won't be there for all the session, but wasn't she there for almost most of all sessions in post-production?
She was there for all of my later
So these are the details and the love, and also building the world that hasn't been seen before. So a lot of the sounds, what we would do and go like, no, make it more squeaky and maybe more swirly and make it more friendly. And so we would just be making all these sounds all day, right? Like for about 6-8 hours, just seeing some of the scenes, some of the sketches, just some of the little clips, and trying to imagine what that world would be, and trying to, from my end, also trying to bring in Korean sounds as well. So it's oh, chua! And that would actually sound different as an American speaker, yeah? So these sounds are different. So there was a group of us, 2 of us are here today representing the additional voices, but there was a lot of us, and it was very imaginative, it was fun, it was weird, and we would just throw things out. And later, the director, of course, and the post-sound supervisor, and a lot of technical people would pull in a lot of the soundscapes that we built, and they would build upon that. So then it all comes together cohesively, that comes to the fans. But there was definitely a process, even for things that we think, oh, of course, those were all built by the creative team.
Since this is an interactive panel, let's pretend you are the director, voice director of the audience. The audience, we want to hear your best demon voices. Now, direct them to like a sample direction that you would have got. Let's give it to you guys. So,
Okay.
All right. So you guys are in the ADR room. You're recording the demon crowd for maybe K-Pop Demon Hunters 2. all right. So what's the direction?
Okay, so the clip is all the clip that we know where the demons are pretending to be the flight attendants, remember? And they're all weird and doing weird things and putting coffee in the pot and trying to be human. And so why don't we try everybody trying to try pass as human, but you're actually very hesitant demons. So just out of 3, 2, 1, we'll just go. 3, 2, 1.
Excellent.
Perfect.
You're hired.
Collective confusion. I love it. You all booked.
You got it. It wasn't just everyone's
Fucking
confused.
blessed.
I heard it there. All right, awesome. All right, next up, Alyssa.
So, I'm an actual K-pop fan. BTS is. I traveled to Korea when they announced that they were going into the military. Me and my friend knew they were going to have their free concert. We went for the whole month of October, knowing that it was going to land somewhere there, just so we could make sure to see them. So we're, semi-uber fans of BTS. But I follow a whole bunch of different accounts, and I remember, I think it was Netflix Korea advertised this first, and I thought the clip that they posted was the one where the Saja boys walk around the corner, and it's the 3 girls who we didn't know who they were at first, just reacting to them and being like, oh my god, and I was like, oh my god, it's us as BTS fans to the boys, and I sent it to all my friends. I was like, we have to watch this movie as soon as it lands. And then of course they winded up including, actual K-pop artists to sing twice, did one of the songs. They had all of these different covers, and then after the movie came out too, which I pretty much watched it right away because I knew, I was like, this movie is totally me coded and I'm gonna love it, and I did. I loved it. I fell in love with it immediately. But it was afterwards, just looking at all the different accounts from the different artists and everything, just all of the amount of work and detail that went into it, that I was like, this is really something special, and I want to be a part of it. I want to make a cosplay. I love the fandom, and all the fans are obviously amazing. So the movie I knew immediately was me coded. So that's how it was advertised to me on Netflix, as everyone gets the advertisements that somehow magically find you because they're for you.
Woo! And then can you tell us about your roomie purse?
Oh yes.
Where is it? How'd you make it? Where'd you get it?
So it's actually underneath is a ramen purse. It's just a generic ramen purse, and then my friends and I had this printed, and then we overlaid it on top because you gotta think smart, not work harder. So use stuff that already exists, and then just make it work for the cosplay. And then for my birthday, which was last week, my friend gifted me my own
All right, then tell us about your jacket. How'd you make your jacket?
Yes.
Stand out. Let's see it.
And then this is my favorite part. Because I don't know about y'all, but Derpy's my favorite.
Any Derpy fans?
So for me, I knew that I wanted to do an outfit inspired by Rumi's outfit. I wanted to make my own leather type jacket. And at the time, I didn't have time to embroider, so I wound up hand painting it. But I also knew I wanted it to be a little more inspired by, motorcycle jackets, that someone would have something personal on the back. And for me, the character that I loved the most in the movie was Derpy, and I was like, I'm painting Derpy. So that's what I did.
Next up.
You guys, my algorithm really wanted me to watch this movie. For me, it's something that I saw, and my background is I'm a musical theater person, costume designer. I majored in both of those in college. I still dabble and work in both those industries today. And this was the perfect merriment of those two things for me. I love musicals. I love anything that has music incorporated into it. So to see this beautiful character design for these characters immediately. The great thing about KPop Demon Hunters is every character design is beautiful, and I can't decide who I want to cosplay. This cosplay took so long because I could not decide which one to commit to, and I will be doing all of them at some point because it's the best. Why not? I know, right? Why not? But for me, it was, I had been seeing it on my page, and I was stunned by the animation, and I was stunned by the songs, and I finally sat down with my boyfriend here, and I was like, okay, we gotta watch this. I've been seeing it everywhere. I know I'm gonna love it. Let's watch. We sat down, and he was like, he wasn't on the fence about it, but I knew it's not usually his thing. But we sat down, and 10 minutes in, right after takedown, he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, I'm in." And from there on, we have just been singing the songs nonstop in the car. It's been all consuming. It has literally hit the top 50 in the USA, which is absolutely insane for this animated film to do. Like, it's transcended even just the animation industry. So I just love the fans. Everyone is so kind and is lifting each other up. It's such a positive fandom, and so I'm just really happy. I've seen it about 6 or 7 times now, and I'll probably watch it more. So yeah, that's my exposure.
I just want to add that we're also the #1 most watched Netflix film of all time.
You're welcome.
All right, so speaking of who went to the theaters to see it? All right, nice. All right, so that opening weekend, it was like #1 at the box office. It blew all the other ones away. Including some very big movies with some very big A-list actors. Also, like you said, #1 on Billboard. Golden, Soda Pop Your Idol, and also Takedown have been like in the top 50, and Golden, Soda Pop Your Idol, I think I've been in the top 10, so yeah.
Around me, and so to go from that, and now everybody's like learning Korean and Korean songs and singing along to K-Pop Demon Hunters, and you know, creating these fandoms and this community, like Esther was saying, it's just such a beautiful thing to see. I feel seen, and I hope through that, like, other people can feel seen too, through these communities, and it's just so wonderful to see that. And I was a part of Make It Pop, which was a Nickelodeon show, and it was actually inspired by K-pop, and we shot that film, the TV show, about 10 years ago now at this point, and it was one of the first shows where we had 3 Asian leads, and inspired by K-pop. Our outfits were inspired by like groups like Sonishide, Girls' Generation, and 21, you know, like a lot of like first, second gen K-pop, which is what I grew up with. And so to go from that to K-Pop Demon Hunters and to be a part of that, it's just been such a roller coaster. We've come such a long way, and the exposure of K-pop, Korean culture, the Hallyu wave, it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's surreal, it's crazy. And so yeah, that's my experience so far. I'm like just going along with it, you know? Like
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, this panel, you guys, it was something. It was something.
it's actually Kristen.
Hey!
Thank you.
Hey, babe. Hi! So, how was your day so far?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm having fun too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to ask your experience working at Sony Animation when you did the voices.
Such a great experience.
So yeah, I just got out of the panel, the fandom of K-Pop Demon Hunters, and my God, it's absolutely fun. It's kind of cute though. It's actually a cute panel, and it's just fans loving the movie. We just love it the way it is. We don't compare it to other animated films, you guys. I'm looking at you, Animation Fandom. Bunch of fakers. But yeah, no, we just love the movie itself. And mentioning the merch, all that good stuff we're getting. I'm getting my Zoe Funko Pop just in time for the holidays. As I mentioned, a Q&A with the directors next month. Yeah, I'm pushing as hard as I can for K-Pop Demon Hunters on my channel here. This is just great, you guys. My God, this is so great. I love this so much. You got the poison?
I have the poison.
You got the poison. Very good.
Let's go.
Yeah, and Angel and Demons.
Yes, yes.
Watch out for those K-Pop Demon Hunters, though. They might get
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Oh boy.
He's got a good point.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So I just passed by the autograph area, and I just bumped into Matthew Lillard, my guys. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, the live-action films. He also voices Shaggy and Scream. So this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see Matthew Lillard. Oh my God, it's Judy Hopps. What's she doing here? I thought you were supposed to patrol Zootopia. No, but this is great. I love it.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much. Squirrel.
Show the judges. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like Coca-Cola are here, I guess, just for Coca-Cola reasons. Free samples, though. I will get one. Oh my God, I want to thank Coca-Cola for giving me free drinks. So it's just so amazing. They gave it to me because I was pressed, so nice. All right, so before I go, you guys, the horror. I'll check out some of the horror aspects of this because it looks pretty cool. Yeah, ready to be jump scared, people? I like to be jump scared sometimes, Yeah, I kind of like. It's kind of nice for them to have a horror theme area here. I'll give it this. It's kind of amazing. So yeah, I like it. I like it. Definitely for horror fans over here. Hopefully LA Comic Con will do more of this, different themes and different locations. That's pretty cool though. And that's about it for not only day 2, but also for me for LA Comic Con 2025. Once again, major special thanks to LA Comic Con for giving me a press badge for this. Definitely had a time of my life here this year. I think I had a way better day today though. I think today was definitely the best for me. Yeah, easily one of the best days in my gaming life. So meeting Dan Houser definitely was a big deal for me because, well, come on, he did GTA, guys. He wrote, he wrote many of the best aspects of GTA, along with Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. As they're doing a party over there. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and everything, and and thanks again to LA Comic Con for this and a fun event like this. And shout out to everyone that I talked to, especially to you, Dani, especially to you, Dare, and even Brianna, even everyone else that I missed, because there's so many people to count. Overall, you guys, thank you guys for watching, and everything else, I don't know. What I can say is I had a good time. Hopefully you'll come back for 2026 though, hopefully. But I'll see you all next time, you guys. You guys take care. Stay safe too, okay? Also drive safe as well, because it's going to be crowded around here. So stay safe, everyone. You guys take care.